All right, let's do this. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, back to the Dish Sleeper Farmer Cigar Garage Talks. We are out in the garage because although it's like 80 degrees outside, the wind is also going at like 80 miles per hour, so the sound would not be great. We do have another special guest. Say hello.
Hello.
Yes, I needed support because this is a very depressing video update, whatever you want to call it.
Topic?
Topic. It's sad. Potentially sad. Depressing for sure. But anyhow, let's get on the good part. What are we smoking? What are we drinking? So for me tonight, I'm smoking Blackbird Unkind. This is, of course, one of the 20-year anniversary cigars that my wifey got me. And it's kind of well timed, actually, because for the topic, she picked it actually at random, but this one is for the 16th year of marriage, the 2020s, 2 jobs, and the world has COVID. And I lost my job in 2020 due to COVID, so kind of the topic tonight, very appropriate.
I think that's actually when you got the job
No.
for COVID response.
Well, I did eventually, but I lost it first in
Oh.
2020, and then later on I got,
Oh, okay.
because I was only unemployed for a few months. It wasn't long at all. Spoiler alert. For the drink tonight, from Bell's Brewing, Oberon Eclipse, raspberry wheat. I've had one of these, not on video. Forget where I was, and I was downstate for a meeting, and I saw one in the store. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna try that. It's actually pretty damn tasty. In case you guys don't know, we used to religiously get Oberon every summer. We used to get a little mini keg of it. I still have a couple of the empty mini kegs lying around. We have since gotten away from that. We don't have as many people who enjoy it as we used to. Did a double pour there. So yeah, we don't get the mini kegs anymore. We used to. They used to be our little summer. New summer was here when we got the Oberon.
Yeah, but we never got the raspberry.
Brand
Is
new
it-
this year.
Because it was just a standard, I think, generic
That's
kind.
wow. Okay.
Is it sour?
No, it's hoppy. It's bitter. The last one I had was sweeter, and I was going to offer you some, but you don't want
No.
that.
Those are
That's
sour.
it's not sour at all. Actually,
Sorry.
bitter. It's
Yeah, I don't-
very bitter. What are you drinking, or at least what did you bring out to drink? Because you're not going to open it. Probably you
I
never do.
might.
Nice Pepsi.
Blair, that's just rude.
Yeah, I was not expecting that Oberon to be. The last one I had was sweet, like very raspberry forward. This one is like wheat and hops with a little trip of raspberry at the end. So
Sometimes I get concerned if they don't have more consistency.
I don't with Oberon because Oberon, how they brew it, it's brewed different than a lot of their beers.
Okay.
So they actually talk about how you'll have different flavors throughout the year when they make it, based on the process. So anyway, so as you can tell from the title of the video, the state of Michigan is going to go full Hunger Games Monday morning. So as many people know, my job is with the state of Michigan government. So like any government position, my job is tied very heavily to the state budget. Unlike previous jobs, I've had previous jobs in and around the state where they were contractors with grant funded. Those are always stressful because if your grant ever ran out, you lost your position. And I've had one or two of those. It's stressful around grant season. But this was what's known as a line item budget position, where my position is actually paid for from the state budget on a line item. So it's a lot more secure. There's no applying for grants or loans or scholarships or any of the other stuff. So that's why I was happy to get it. Well, after the House passed the U.S. passed their big beautiful bill, the federal government, the state government decided that, you know what, we're going to take the federal government's lead and make some budget cuts. Some of them were forced because the Fed's money just isn't there. I mean, you can't spend money that's not there. And a lot of the Fed money went away. But they decided to cut a little deeper to try and get rid of some of the waste and save taxpayers money. So, long story short, I have two funding streams. One of them is getting cut by 60%, and the other one's getting cut by 40%. Not to mention stuff like MDHHS as a whole is getting cut by 20% in the tune of, what did I say, was it $3 billion?
I have no idea.
It's $3 or $6 billion, and they have to cut almost 1,000 state positions. So yeah, Hunger Games. So we're gonna find out hopefully on Monday, probably by Wednesday by the latest, exactly what that means per unit, per section, how many cuts are gonna be made. It's right now with management while they decide who stays and who goes. So what are your thoughts, homeschooling mama?
Well, I think there's a lot of gloom and doom, but I do think they've been padding their budgets for some time with jobs that aren't actually getting filled, but they're still being paid. So I do think there is still hope.
Yeah, is that a fly in my beer? No. Okay, we're good. It's just the light. So that was one thing, and it's kind of funny. So there's what's known as a ghost employee that the Senate Republicans wanted to get rid of. So these are, he posts a job without the intention of ever filling it, because as long as the job is posted, you still get that funding. And then depending on the classification of the job, you can actually leave it open for multiple years, giving you more funding. So yeah, some of the cuts are directly that. They're going to get rid of, basically if there's any unfilled position as of, I forget the date, it's like October 1 or something, or maybe it's later in the month. They're going to cut that position for sure. That one's getting cut. But it does look like they're cutting a little bit deeper than just the unfilled jobs. So yes, there is a ton of boom, doom, and gloom going on. So what does that mean for me? Good question. Good question. Homeschooling mama, of course, is being the upbeat one.
Boy, people who know me would not think that that's the case.
Well, that's how bad it is. You are upbeat compared to me.
Harsh.
So
I think it's early. Well, okay. I think there's never a point where it's like I know what somebody else is going to do, especially when it involves a ton of people who really don't know what they're going to do or honestly what they are doing, period. So I honestly don't know what's going to happen, and I mean obviously I'm encouraging you to look, but
well, clearly we're going to start looking for gigs and jobs because, as Homeschooling Mama did point out, even if I keep my job this year, it's most likely just for this year. Like they're probably going to cut a little bit deeper or reallocate funds in the next budget cycle, unless we get a huge influx of cash, which doesn't happen.
yeah. So I mean I would still continue looking, but it would be nice not to lose your position for 6 months to a year so that you have time to find something better.
Yeah. I agree. It was interesting. We had a glimmer of hope for a hot minute. The division or the bureau manager, so my boss's boss's boss type thing, was telling this heartwarming story about when he was in government and, you know, he was having to do like 5-6 positions and had different responsibilities and, you know, he was kind of the jack of all trades, heavily implying that, like, if your position is like that, there's a good chance you can stay. But if you have, like, a singular job where you do one task, that there's less of a chance. It did give me a glimmer of hope because being from the UP, I do two and a half positions. I do community engagement, community outreach, and then I help with health navigators. So there's some hope there. But I also know the truth. When cuts need to be made, the UP is the first place you look. You always cut them first, and then, the other areas, the bigger voting meccas, you cut those next. Unfortunate, sad, but that is the way of the world here in the great state of politics. Plus, they could combine the UP with the northern lower, and that lady, let's just say, in her current administration, she has more points worth staying than I do. As the conservative, rural male, where she's a very liberal female. I'm not having high hopes of me making the cut. Any thoughts from you?
I mean, I'm not as connected to it as you are because I don't see all of the interior dialogue that happens within the state. But I have no idea how it's all going to affect every program or everything, and I think it's kind of hard to make that determination without being the one right there with the budget in front of you, looking at the different programs and which parts of the programs need to be cut and how much money is actually in each part. So, I don't want you to lose your job right now. I'd much rather you have time to find something better, like have a year to keep applying and searching for something else.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't want you to lose it, period, but like,
it'd be nice to keep it because it is a nice job. I can be at home when I need to be home, and I can be out in the office or out in the field when I want to be out in the field, and it is nice to offer some sort of direct service in the UP because again, we don't get much in the state of Michigan as far as assistance and help. So, but it is so the Hunger Games part. There is a lot of people backstabbing and talking down about other units and other teammates, and well, I should stay because so and so did X, Y, and Z, and they should be the first one to be cut, or I don't even know what this person's job is. I don't think they do anything. They should be cut, which is real unfortunate that the managers are letting it get to that point.
but the managers don't even know what's going on, so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a problem. Micromanagement positions. And my cigar might not be as dry as I thought because it's not burning like a dry cigar. So maybe it's just me.
Maybe your hands are dry and it felt dry.
Maybe it just felt dry or something. But it's doing fine actually. So I was kind of surprised. I thought my humidor got dry, but it's not supposed to. I have the Bovita packs. That's like guaranteed humidity as long as they're poofy. Mine are poofy. So.
I don't even know what that means, so.
It's a new finagled way to humidify your humidors. It uses salt water.
Okay.
Yeah. So if it gets too humid, the salt will actually suck in the moisture, but if it gets too dry, then the salt releases it.
Interesting.
Yeah, so as long as it feels like it has liquid in it, it's supposed to work.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. I just recently bought a really nice pack of it. A big bowl. So it should work. I hope.
I hope so. I'd like to say I had your humidor open for a very long time, but I didn't. So
Well, even if you did,
it was a bit, but not like super long when I was trying to sneak your cigars in there. So.
yeah. Well, again, you should almost be able to leave it open a day, and it shouldn't.
Yeah, no, I think it was like 10 to 20 minutes max.
Yeah, there's so much other stuff that holds moisture in there.
And at that point, I realized how long it was going to take trying to match each one, and I was like, no.
Yep. But anyway, that's I guess kind of a shorter, depressing video. We'll see what happens. I'll give you updates, of course. Hopefully, I can keep my job. They have until I think it's Wednesday to submit their plan. Now, whether or not they're going to tell us their plan on Wednesday, I highly doubt it. My guess is it won't be for a week, but who knows? With a 60% cut in funding, they can't have quote unquote dead weight hanging around for long. So I'm guessing I'll know by the end of the week, yay or nay. So we'll let you guys know. We'll keep contact and see
Well,
what's
and
gonna
there is the
happen.
possibility that they'll jump your revenue stream, like where your money comes from.
It's possible, but I think there's a lot of people who are going to try and do that. So the question is, can we justify our unit using up someone else's revenue stream? Which would be nice, but it's deep enough cuts where we can't just be like, all right, no travel and no handing out brochures. So,
Well, maybe they can just refuse to pay for the 2025 Eat Safe Fish
eat safe
brochures.
fish brochures, right? Might as well not get them printed, but
Yeah.
I know how much those cost, and that's like one person's position they'd save.
I'm only worried about one person's
Well, that's a true
position.
story right there.
I'm just saying,
That's true
like
story.
when
Maybe
when you come down to it, I'm not worried about
It's yeah.
anybody else's.
Fair. That is fair enough. But yeah, hopefully I hope they let us know on Wednesday. Here's the plan, or like on Thursday. I guess give them time to cry in their pillows and.
It would be nice if they would give people a heads up. I don't know that they will. But,
Yeah, it'd be nice if they.
I mean, I feel like they've done a terrible job communicating for the last 3 months, so
Mhm.
that's why I don't know what to believe either with their intentions and with their like, here's, they're gonna be deep cuts, they're not gonna be like, I don't know what to believe with some of the stuff they say. And I don't know that you can trust anything that the media is projecting out there, because a lot of that is either fear mongering or like projecting or.
Well, and this administration is great at fear mongering. I mean, they could do a master class on it. Honestly, they're good at getting their residents and employees all up in a tizzy. So.
I mean, I won't mention the last individual who was the best at that, but 1945.
Wow. That's the quickest way to get this video banned.
I didn't mention any names.
Yeah.
I actually didn't mention the right year. I
I
mentioned
know,
the
yeah, I
end
know
of the
exactly what you're talking about. No need to continue on that train of thought.
year. Propaganda. They're good at propaganda.
No, it's more fear mongering than propaganda.
It's both.
I suppose.
Modern propaganda being media coverage and news, like, it
Yeah.
used to be you had to make posters to have propaganda.
Right, and a good
Now you don't.
good set of Sharpies.
Now all you need is a a flyer that's a digital.
Right, a podcast,
Yeah.
I suppose so. But anyway, folks, I'm gonna go probably change my seat so I stop smoking out my wife, and yeah, we'll let you know. We'll see what happens on Wednesday or Friday. I'm guessing it's gonna be on Friday. We'll get a little meet with me at noon.
Well, maybe. I mean, I guess it'd be nice to know one way or the other soon.
Oh, it'd be great to know one way or the other. That would
I
be-
don't want you to lose your job, but knowing at least would
Yeah, there's steps we can start
empower
taking.
people.
And that's been the biggest complaint is like this whole we just don't know. Well, we know something, we don't want to tell you. Like that's been the biggest like problem is that they know stuff, but it's like, well, I don't want to tell you just yet. Well, it's my right to know.
Yeah. But they're trying to stop a mass exodus with everybody quitting and trying to get a different job elsewhere. And
Well, no, they're all beta. Like they just don't know how to give people tough news. Like I shudder to think if any of them ever worked on the ambulance, they'd tell someone died. Like, well, they're just not exactly living. They're, they make all the big mistakes. Well, your mommy's not here right now. Well, when's she coming back? Oh God. So, anyway, folks, keep an eye out for updates. Stay safe out there. See you on the next one.